There is an animal that shows up in your yard at night, and most people grab a broom, a shovel, or a phone to call pest control the moment they see it. It looks ugly to some. It moves agonizingly slow. It hisses. It plays dead. And for decades, the cultural narrative has beaten one message into your head. It's a pest. But what if everything you believed about this animal was completely wrong? What if the creature you've been chasing away, or worse, killing, has been quietly, selflessly protecting your family this entire time? Stay with me for the next few minutes, because what you're about to learn tonight isn't just going to change how you see this specific animal. It's going to change how you see your own backyard forever. Before we talk about the opossum, we need to talk about the real enemy. We need to talk about ticks. If you've ever spent time in your backyard, walked through high grass, or let your kids or pets play outside in the spring and summer, ticks are already on your radar, and quite frankly, they should be. Ticks carry Lyme disease, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, Ehrlichiosis, alpha-gal syndrome, which can make you permanently allergic to red meat. These aren't minor inconveniences or a simple itchy rash. Lyme disease alone affects nearly 500,000 people in the United States every single year, according to the CDC. And here is the terrifying part that we as conservationists are watching in real time. Ticks are getting worse. Their geographic range is exploding. Warmer, shorter winters mean that instead of dying off, more ticks are surviving into the spring, multiplying at staggering rates. Scientists aren't mincing words anymore. They are calling it a public health crisis hiding in plain sight. So, what is our defense? Chemical sprays that kill beneficial pollinators? Expensive traps? Or what if the most effective, natural, completely free defense against the ticks living right outside your back door is the exact animal you just tried to scare away? Enter the opossum. A few years ago, researchers at the Cary Institute of Ecosystem Studies conducted a controlled study on how different forest animals interact with ticks. What they found stopped the scientific community completely in their tracks. A single opossum, just one, can consume up to 5,000 ticks in a single week. Let that number sit with you for a second. 5,000 ticks per week, per animal. See, opossums are obsessive, meticulous groomers. When they walk through the brush, ticks latch onto them just like they would onto your dog or your pant leg. But the opossum doesn't let them stay there. They instantly find them, pick them off their skin, and eat them. Every single one. Scientists don't just call them wild animals anymore. They describe them as ecological vacuum cleaners for tick populations. Think about what that means for your yard, for your neighborhood, for your children playing on the lawn. The animal you just chased off your porch with a broom wasn't a pest. It was an elite, late-night pest control operator working the night shift for free while you slept soundly inside. Now let's destroy every single lie you were told about opossums, one by one. Myth number one. Opossums carry rabies. This one is so widespread, it's almost impressive how wrong it is. Opossums have an extremely low baseline body temperature, lower than almost any other mammal their size. The rabies virus literally cannot survive or replicate at that temperature, which means, scientifically, opossums are one of the least likely animals to carry or transmit rabies of any wild mammal in North America. You have a significantly higher chance of catching rabies from a neighborhood bat, a raccoon, or a fox than from the opossum under your shed. The fear was never based in biological fact. Myth number two. Opossums are aggressive. Look at that display. The hissing, the flashing teeth, the dramatic drooling performance when they're cornered. Here is the truth from a behavioral standpoint. Possums are putting on a theatrical masterpiece. That whole display, the wide open mouth, the drool, the swaying, is a pure, unadulterated fear response. It is not aggression. They don't want to fight you. They are terrified of you. They want you to leave them alone. And when the hissing doesn't work, they do something that no other North American mammal can do. They die. Or rather, they convince you that they did. Myth number three. Playing dead is a clever trick. Most people think possums choose to play dead. A calculated, conscious strategy, right? Wrong. It is actually entirely involuntary. When an opossum experiences extreme, life-threatening stress, its nervous system experiences a massive overload and triggers a catatonic state. It falls over. It goes completely limp. Its breathing and heart rate slow down to almost undetectable levels. It even releases a foul-smelling green secretion from its anal glands to smell like decaying meat. It isn't acting. It is having the biological equivalent of a stress-induced blackout. They can stay in this state for up to 4 hours. Think about that. That's not a vicious pest. That is a creature so inherently non-confrontational that its own body physically shuts down rather than engage in a fight. Myth number 4. Possums are dirty and spread disease. As we've already seen with the ticks, the exact opposite is true. Because they spend hours cleaning themselves, they actually drastically reduce the density of disease-carrying insects in every single ecosystem they inhabit. They aren't spreading the plague, they are containing it. So let's talk about what opossums actually are, beyond the myths. Opossums are marsupials. In fact, they are the only native marsupial in all of North America. That means they carry their young in a pouch, just like a kangaroo or a koala. When opossum joeys are born, they are the size of a single honeybee. They are blind, hairless, and barely formed. Entirely on instinct, they crawl through their mother's fur and into her belly pouch. They stay hidden away in that safe haven for 2 to 3 months, growing and developing. And when they finally emerge, they don't leave her side. They climb right up onto her back. If you've ever been lucky enough to see a mother opossum riding through your yard at night, carrying a dozen miniature versions of herself clinging for dear life to her fur, that's not a nuisance. That is a devoted mother doing exactly what any mother does, protecting her young, finding food, and trying to survive against all odds. And here's the ultimate plot twist that most people never hear about. Opossums are almost entirely immune to most snake venom. Not just resistant, immune. Researchers at San Jose State University identified a specific peptide, a protein, in opossum blood that completely neutralizes the venom of rattlesnakes, cottonmouths, and copperheads. Today, scientists are actively studying this exact peptide as a potential foundation for a universal antivenom. Think about that. The creature we have historically kicked off our porches is the same creature currently helping scientists develop medicine that could save tens of thousands of human lives worldwide. Here is what nobody tells you. Opossums have been walking this planet for over 70 million years. Read between the lines of evolutionary history. That means they survived the cataclysmic extinction event that wiped out the dinosaurs. They outlasted saber-toothed cats, woolly mammoths, and species that were vastly bigger, faster, and stronger than them. And they did it not by being fierce predators, but by being exactly what they are right now in your garden. Quiet, highly adaptable, incredibly gentle, and invisible to a world that kept trying to get rid of them. They don't need your appreciation. They don't want your applause. But maybe the real question we need to ask ourselves tonight isn't whether opossums deserve a place in your yard. Maybe the question is, how many other things have we been aggressively removing from our lives that were quietly protecting us the entire time? Next time you see those glowing eyes in your flashlight beam at 2 a.m., put down the broom, turn off the light, and let them get back to work. Thank you for listening. Keep looking closer at the wild world around you. I'll see you out in the field.